I agree with the conservative assertion that liberals are morally bereft, because only the morally bereft would ever argue that neoliberalism only needed better marketing in order to bring the abundance it's never brought in 40 years. I am at a loss to understand how somebody with a moral compass squares a circle with individuals who persuade through logical fallacy, through mendacity, through false witness, practice politics the right way. Somebody who doesn't consider the consequences of its success.
Joe Biden is a bumbling, corrupt tyrant who should be given the death penalty for his crimes against America.
The only other reason that you should ever have a conversation or be friends with anyone on the left is, and not even be friends, is if you are in public in front of a large audience, and then your goal is to humiliate them as badly as possible.
And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection, but we are going to do what it takes to dismantle.
I would like to know how Mr. Klein thinks the greater good is served by every dirty trick in the book, never lifting a finger to call it out himself, to make these pillars of propriety defend their claims.
Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, has, like so many other prominent conservative voices, built his entire brand on destroying college liberals in debates, churning out endless viral clips of himself owning unprepared students on American campuses. Charlie, like many popular conservative speakers, has a handful of rhetorical traps loaded and ready to spring. These aren't random diversions, they're carefully selected topics designed to shift the battlefield to more favorable terrain.
Why is it that a bill banning abortions after a woman has been pregnant for 6 weeks is not a return to the Dark Ages? What's your answer?
You purport to be an objective journalist. Why don't you just say that you're on the left? Is this so hard for you? Why can't you just be honest?
Mr.
Seriously,
Shapiro,
it's a serious question.
Mr. Shapiro, if you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
Are you an objective journalist or are you an opinion journalist?
I'm a journalist that asks questions. My job is to question those who have strong views and put an alternative to them. If you were an anti-abortion person, I would be putting pro-abortion questions to you.
I'm not inclined to continue an interview with a person as badly motivated as you as an interviewer. So I think we're done here. I appreciate your time.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and for showing that anger is not part of American political discourse. Now, Mr. Shapiro, we'll say goodbye.
Why do they falter with such a simple challenge? We are surrounded by very fine people who are made to apologize for suggesting mass euthanasia for mental illness, while less fine people are fired for the crime of quoting Charlie Kirk. Yes, sirree, Bob, our nation is sustained by institutions of unimpeachable standards, headed by those of impeccable virtue. Mr. Klein is so open-minded that he embraces the idea his own family should be silenced, fired, blacklisted, or jailed for their ethnic identity. Or that it's unremarkable to normalize political violence. Move along, nothing to see here but the right way to practice politics. Because it's perfectly fine to echo Richmond's decades-old paranoid delusions that public resistance to corporate tyranny can only be the product of a nebulous, monolithic cabal of elites seeking one world communist government or something. They themselves openly talk about building a silicon god to do that very thing. The liberal open mind of Mr. Klein would never denounce their illusionary town squares, profiting from grievance, anger, and outright hate they deliberately nurture. To acknowledge any of it would be to acknowledge his own role.
And you know what? I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better.